With the mushrooms well and truly out of the way, I've been hard at work implementing one of the core systems of my game, dungeons.
Today we'll be jumping into some research, paper prototyping, stress testing, and a lot more, all for the creation of the dungeon system.
But not just any dungeons, procedurally generated dungeons. Hi, my name's Gab, and something you might not know about me is that I love Pokemon.
Now, some people say that I have a problem.
You have a problem.
And to that I say,
these aren't even all my plushies.
When I was younger, I fell in love with the game Pokémon Mystery Dungeon on the DS.
Pray that this thing still works.
Which I've replayed more times than I can remember. But something that was always constant with my replays of it, my buddy, Derek. Me and this guy go way back. This game blew my brain as a child with its stunning pixel art, fluid turn-based dungeon movement, and most of all, the emotional depth of the story. So it's no surprise that this title has now inspired what I'm making in my adult life.
All for you, Derek.
All for you. A couple of years ago, I actually created a procedurally generated dungeon in 2D that was very reminiscent of Pokémon Mystery Dungeon. But with my art direction for this project being 3D, I had to reconsider my approach into how this would be implemented. The first thing I had to do, play the 3D version of Pokémon Mystery Dungeon. Playing this game brought back a lot of core memories for me.
I got Chikorita!
And who of course to hold my hand on this journey, but good old Derek.
You're so funny, Derek.
Who's Derek?
But it was time to stop living in the past. Research out of the way, I got to implementing these procedurally generated dungeons. Finding this incredible tutorial that seemed like it was the perfect match for the vision that I was trying to achieve, I got to implementing the basic version of this system. And then building on top of what I had learned, building a more solid dungeon system that I could use as a base to rescale as the game grows. I actually felt really confident with this custom scripting that I was achieving. Mastering Unreal now not seeming so far-fetched. But part of my struggle here was with the room design. My original idea was for my dungeons to be level-based, like in Pokémon Mystery Dungeon. But the more I thought about it, the more I wasn't sure if this was the right approach for my game. Should I have stairs that the player needs to explore and find? Should there be puzzles which the player needs to solve in order to unlock the next room, like in Zelda? I just had so many questions. What's one of the best ways to answer these design questions?
Paper prototyping. So, I've been doing some paper prototyping, and I've gone through a few iterations now to something I'm happy with. First, you have the player. You start here, and your goal is to open the locked door to defeat the boss. So, as the player, you got to explore. You got to find the chest that has the key in it. You decide to go this way. Oh no, there's an enemy. Yeah. Find a chest. Has nothing in it. Check in this room. Nothing here. More enemies. Yeah. Then you find your way to this room with a chest. You flip it. Trust me, it has the key. It has the key. Explore further and find the key to the locked room. So
With my concerns quelled, I went back into the project with hope. Creating some more variation to the dungeon, with corridors, random loot rooms which would spawn on a percentage-based chance, and, of course, the integral boss room and the room holding its key. Now just time to hook up the dungeon to the portal itself. But I've had a few questions about this. What is the actual purpose of this portal? Well, in my game, there is an overworld, which will be set upon a set map, with shops, NPCs, and story events that the player can engage in, just like in Stardew Valley. And then there's also a mirrored dimension that is bleeding into the overworld, causing the life of the town to deteriorate due to an unknown entity. Think the Never in Minecraft or the Upside Down in Stranger Things. The player's main goal of the game, to help the town by exploring and unlocking ancient portals scattered around the world, each representing a different biome, inspired by iconic Australian environments. And so these portals really will serve as the main catalyst for my core gameplay loop. I do admit they are pretty bare bones right now, but more will be revealed in later devlogs of their functionality. But for now, we had our dungeon. I took some time to set up spawn points in the rooms, but I wasn't quite ready to face enemies just yet, after the debacle with the mushrooms. So after configuring the values that I exposed to the editor for the dungeon generator, I started the After fixing up these errors, which were due to overlap checks and perhaps a missed plugin that I forgot to hook up, I started the simulation for the dungeons. Which it came out with some really cool variations that I could already see could give the player the sense that they would never be playing through the same dungeon twice, bolstering the replayability. But of course, we needed to stress this bad boy.
So I enlisted my first playtester. Timing the player's progress, we will see how long it takes Ollie to complete 1 room,
Oh, 15 seconds.
10 rooms,
That's the gate. Give me the key. Nothing. Yay! Boss key found. 1 minute, 4 seconds. Now the real test. 100 rooms.
How long do you think 100 rooms will take you?
One was, well, if I can actually make this parkour, it might be a little bit.
We haven't made it into the portal yet. Things are not looking good.
Let me start again. That's a waste of 20 seconds.
So as a gracious host, I let him start again.
There's the gate over there. So 100 actually might not be too long. Nope. Oh, the key could be anywhere. Could be a key, not boss key.
Leaving Ollie to it, I went off, did some reading, ate a banana, relaxed while he tried to complete the 100-room dungeon. What is it?
It's just as different.
Yeah! Now you need to find the door.
It's gonna take forever. Imagine 1,000 rooms.
You found it?
We found it.
Yeah!
8 minutes.
But now it was time for the ultimate test.
I was really surprised the dungeon actually was still generating, and hey, eventually finished, with no doorways left unchecked. So this got me thinking, what would playing through a dungeon this large actually be like? The answer, I assume, is hell. But it could be fun nonetheless, players seeming to enjoy those 40 style of games. So if you'd really like to see me playtest this monstrosity, if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll do it.
Just do it!
But before we get too distracted exploding my new laptop, it was actually time to playtest the main loop of the dungeons, which we had established with the paper prototype. Enter the portal, find the key, unlock the door to the boss. Which, the boss is just this giant crystal for now. As, you know, I've totally banned enemies from my project until further notice. So, in this enemy-less, lootless dungeon, I sat down and hit that play button. So, here we have the first playtest of my dungeon system.
As you can see, we have chests. That is not the boss key chest.
We'll have to keep exploring.
God damn it!
I honestly have no idea where these chests are. This is totally random. I'm scared this is gonna take me forever.
I think that's the chest we need. It looks red. I'm going to avoid it for now. Well, that one looks promising. It was right next to the portal.
I've just chosen to go right. Now we need to find the boss room.
Must be this way. Maybe where the red chest was?
The end of the last hallway.
Now to see if the key works.
What the shiitake mushrooms?